So the next book I read was We Were Liars by E. Lockhart, and this is a super short read. It's like 200 something pages. What quote did I tab? If you want to live where people are not afraid of mice, you must give up living in palaces. This book follows a girl named Cadence. I really like that name. I have a book talk on this book also, so if you want to hear more of my thoughts on it, then you should watch it. But yeah, this book is essentially about like a really rich family who is like kind of, it deals with racism, like just rich white people and how they kind of try to hide their racism, but it's obvious, like they just are racist and stupid. And God, it's like such a dark book. Like it's so dark. Like I saw what was happening pretty quickly, but it's still like so dark, and I thought like I could kind of save myself from the plot twist even because I knew what was happening. Like, I wasn't spoiled, I just like figured it out. So but I did, but still, like, it just made me feel like kind of dead. Like, it didn't make me cry, but I was like, oh God, wow, that was such a downer. So just be aware that this is a downer book, and I don't know why I'm laughing, because it's sad. So that's that. Okay, then the next book I read was The Alchemist by Michael Scott, and this is the first book in the Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel series, I think, or maybe it's called the Alchemist series. I don't know, but this is a pretty good book. It's about these two twins, Sophie and Josh, and one day they figure out that they have these really like powerful auras, and like every person has an aura. But their auras are like particularly powerful, so it's easier for them to do magic than other people. And then like of course they meet like Nicholas Flamel, and he's like the one who teaches them that. And all these bad guys invade Nicholas Flamel's shop, and they take his wife, Perry Flamel. I think it's Perry. I don't know. And then they take, like, this Book of Abraham, and who's the villain in this? I forgot what John Dee, Dr. John Dee. He's, like, one of my favorite villains. I really like him. But he takes, like, the Book of Abraham, which is, like, this magical spell book, and it'll, like, teach, like, the high people who really do have, like, pure magic in them, like, they're not human, and they live for, like, thousands of years, how to take over the world again, and have the magical people be the ruling people instead of the humans. So it's really, really, interesting. I really like the mythology aspect of it. I really like the scenery. I thought the characters were a little dull, though. Like, Sophie and Josh are just not, like, they just seem like really flat characters. So that's why I gave this book, I think, 3.5 out of 5 stars. But I will continue on with the rest of the series. Like, it's not, like, an immediate thing, but I do want to continue on with it. And I'm hoping that the characters will have some life pumped into them, because Sophie and Josh were kind of boring. So the next book I read this month was It's Not Me, It's You. Vari McFarlane. She's from Scotland. I think. God, I'm a horrible person. I don't know. Anyway, this book it's really long. It's like 530 pages, but I really enjoyed it. This book follows a woman named Delia, and she finds out that her husband is cheating on her, so she's like, no, and she like moves out of like it's like she lives in a London suburb with him, I think. No, she lives in Newcastle, yeah. So she moves out of Newcastle, and she goes to live with her best friend in London, and she gets this new job, and like the boss is kind of a jerk. But then, like, she meets this guy who's, like, the rival to the boss, and, like, the boss's rival, and, his name is Adam, and Adam is, like, so great. It's not really a spoiler, but Adam is Endgame, and, you know, you kind of don't expect Adam to be Endgame for a while, but, like, a bunch of stuff happens, and he's Endgame, and it's just so great. Like, I love it. And, Delia also, like, makes comics, and it's just, like, really cool. Like, let me show you, like, the ending. So cute. Delia and Adam. I love it. I really love this book. Like, there are times, like you know when a book is really good when you get, like, really mad, at, like, certain characters, or, like, when you, like, have that really, like, feely moment, like, oh my god, like, OTP, you know, like, that's how I felt with Delia and Adam, like, for, maybe, like, the last 100 pages, because Adam has this mean moments, but, you know, he's definitely not as bad as freaking Paul, the guy who was with Delia for 10 years, and then he cheated on her. Like, oh god, I just hate Paul. I really hate Paul. Next book I read is This Is Not a Test by Courtney Summers, and this book follows a girl named, God, don't tell me, no, I'm going to tell myself, Sloane, and this book follows Sloane, and she's dealing with the zombie apocalypse, and the story just starts so quickly, within, like, 8 pages, maybe less than that, like, just all the action starts, and there are dead people, like, banging through people's windows, and, like, it's crazy, but this book deals with a lot more than just the zombie apocalypse. Like, there are so many different issues in this book. Like, Sloane deals with depression and also suicidal tendencies. She was raised with her father and her sister, and her father was a very abusive person. Horrible situation. They both felt like they couldn't tell anyone about it, so no one really knew. And, like, I guess, like, a couple months before the zombie apocalypse happened, Sloane's sister just ran out on the family. So Sloane is feeling, like, just abandoned and alone, and then, like, the zombie apocalypse happens, but Sloane is, thank God, she's separated from her dad during it, and, like, she goes to live in her high school with this group of 6 students, and, like, there's a freshman, and Sloane is a senior, I believe, and, like, there's 3 other seniors. I think there's a junior. So, you know, there's some age gaps, but there's just it's such a great book, and I just think that the themes that the book deals with are so important, and I think it's really great that this book isn't just about, like, a zombie apocalypse. It's about a girl dealing with her depression and eventually finding the will to live and helping other people live. So I just think it was really good. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. Okay, I have 2 more books to talk about. The next book that I have to show you that I finished this month is The Emotional Life of Your Brain by Richard J. Davidson and Sharon Begley. This book, it took me like 2 months to finish. I feel really bad that it took me this long. But I mainly read this because I just wanted to find out more about, you know, the brain, because I'm really into psychology, and I think, you know, learning about the emotional aspect of the brain is so awesome, because emotions affect us so much more than we actually know, and I just really wanted to learn more about that. But yeah, it took me a long time to read. Like, some of it's really dry, but it's interesting at the same time. Like, it's kind of like a taxing read, but it's still very interesting. So yeah, I give this 4 out of 5 stars. Very, very informational. If you want to learn more about how emotions affect you, and like why people might be acting a certain way one day, and like why that mood changes so quickly or doesn't change so quickly, you should definitely read this. It was very good. Next book I read but don't have to show you because my aunt has it is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn, and it was so good. It was so good. It wasn't as good as Sharp Objects, so I like Sharp Objects better. But Gone Girl follows a woman named Amy Dunn and her husband Nick Dunn, and for the first 200 pages, the entire book is set up from Amy and Nick's perspective, but something changes after 200 pages, and I can't really tell you about it. But Nick is accused of murdering his wife, pretty much, because just all the evidence points to him. And also we get Amy's perspective too, from her diary, and it's entries from the first time they met to the day before she was supposedly murdered, and it's just everything points to Nick, everything, and to the point where you almost think oh, it can't be Nick, but it was crazy. It was crazy. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. Thanks for watching. It's really lengthy. I know I'm gonna have trouble cutting it down to 15 minutes. Not 50, 15 minutes. Okay, so thank you for watching this. Bye.